go through the agenda and recognize the Alderwoman from the 6th for her board bill. Let us know when can we start.
Okay, you're ready to go.
Alderwoman.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Just let me start for a minute. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022. St. Louis Board of Aldermen's Streets, Traffic, and Refuse Committee meeting is going to be called to order by one of our newest alderperson. I present to you Alderwoman Ann Spicer of the 13th Ward.
Thank you so much, Madam Chairwoman. Calling this meeting to order. Appreciate that. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Alderman Vaccaro,
Present.
Alderwoman Boyd,
Present.
Vice Chair Bosley, Alderwoman Schweitzer,
Present.
Alderwoman Peel, Chairwoman Tyus.
Present.
For present, you have quorum.
Thank you. I will entertain, next is approval of the minutes. I will entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes of the Wednesday, June 15th, 2022 Streets Committee meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Can you please call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Alderman Vaccaro,
Aye.
Alderwoman Boyd,
Aye.
Vice Chair Bosley, Alderwoman Schweitzer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Peel, Chairwoman Tyus.
Aye.
4 aye votes.
By your vote.
By your vote, you sustained the motion. We've approved the minutes of Wednesday, June 15th, 2022. Next is board bills for review. Madam Clerk, can you please read the introduction to board bill number 3?
Board Bill number 3, introduced by Alderwoman Christina Gracia, an ordinance authorizing the honorary street name Ollie Stewart Way pursuant to ordinance number 68937, which shall begin at the intersection of Park Avenue and Cardinal Avenue and run east on Park Avenue to the intersection of Park Avenue and Montrose Avenue.
Thank you very much. Alderwoman from the 6th, you are recognized on board bill 3.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Board Bill number 3 honors a woman who many of you know, Miss Ollie Stewart. She's been a stalwart in the city for many years and has run Southside Wellness Center for senior citizens and people with differing abilities for quite a long time, takes them to appointments, has activities for them at the center, and that the honorary street name would be placed in front of Southside Wellness at that intersection. I'm happy to take questions if anyone has them.
Thank you so much. I don't see any speakers signed up, so we will go in order with questions. Madam Chair, Alderwoman Tyus, do you have any questions?
Oh, no, I just would like to say that Ollie started out in what was then called the 20th Ward, but now called the 1st Ward. She used to live in the 1500 block of Terry. And I would ask that my name be added to this board bill. I think Ollie's a wonderful person and does a wonderful job and makes me feel that I have to get up and up my game because she's going to turn 90 this fall. And she still gets up every day that she can and goes to work. So she is an inspiration to all of us. And I'd ask, in fact, I asked if all the committee, I would ask the committee members if they would all add their name, but I would most definitely like to add my name. I have no questions.
Thank you very much. Please do add my name. Alderman Vaccaro.
I'd like to make a motion. We do this in bank out of the committee.
Second.
Any call
Previous
for
roll.
previous roll? Being moved by the Alderman from the 23rd, seconded by the Alderman from the 1st, and a call for previous roll. This board bill has been made in bank.
Hearing no objections.
Hearing no objections. Thank you very much.
There you
Hearing no
go.
objections. No one objected. I heard nothing.
That's all right. That's how we learn.
I'm learning.
That's
Thank you
correct.
very much. Alderman Boyd, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I just have a comment because when I became a committee woman, Ollie Stewart is the one that worked closely with me beside Alderwoman Tyus to kind of direct me and led me on rules and regulations and how the proper way things should be going. So I just want to thank everybody for thinking enough of her and giving her her flowers while she's here. because we too often wait till after people leave to want to do the hoopla, but she deserves the hoopla. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Seeing no other alders on this Zoom, I just want to echo the sentiments of my colleagues. I have known nothing but amazing things of Miss Stewart. She's somebody who, I've seen show up to things, and her energy and dedication to the causes that she believes in and works so hard for, just inspiring. And I appreciate this street naming a lot. Anything else that you'd like to add, Alderman Six, before we take a vote?
No, I just ask for your favorable consideration of Board Bill 3.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion that we pass Board Bill 3 out of the Streets Committee with a do pass recommendation.
Second. Previous row.
But we need to still move first. So
Yeah.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a
So-
motion and
Who wants to be the motion? Who wants to be the second?
make me the
Second.
motion. and-
Okay, wonderful. I thank you very much. It's been
Previous
moved by the
vote.
Alderman from the 23rd, seconded by the Alderman from the 27th.
Alderwoman.
Alderwoman, I'm so sorry. Alderwoman from the 27th. Call for previous roll. I have heard no objections. So with your vote, Board Bill 3 has been passed out of the Streets Committee with a do pass recommendation. Thank you very much, Alderwoman Gracia.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
so now you ask if there's anything else that needs to be before the committee.
Yep, thank you so much. Seeing no resolutions or now committee discussions, anyone have anything they'd like to bring up in front of the committee? Alderman from the first.
Okay, I've heard from all the different members of the Board of Aldermen about streets, the trash. I do know it's a problem. I've been saying it's a problem for years. You can go back to 2017 when we raised the price of trash pickup. Alderman Conway and a former alderman from the 22nd, and we had a new female mayor. I was opposed to it then because we were not doing good trash service. We're not doing it now. So we started out an investigation. We're going back to it next week. I have a list of stuff that you will be getting copies as members, where we're going to subpoena records. We're going to talk about ways that we can improve trash service. If any of you have ideas, I'll welcome it. I'm actually going to send a letter over to the mayor making some suggestions. I've sat on streets for a long time, since I got elected in 91, except for 2 years. And so I do have some ideas about things that we should do. It is very important to all the constituents that I'm hearing from, not just my ward, from all over. All of us think it's very important that our trash get picked up. I promise you we do. We have some hiccups going on with, we don't have enough truck drivers. We're gonna have to do some adjustments. We're gonna have to make some planning. So all of us who own streets, I think besides telling the mayor she needs to step up her game. If we have any ideas about what we can do to make this a better way to pick up trash or help improve trash. And we do want to get to recycling, but we're going to have to tell the community some hard truths about recycling, and how when we first started it, we made a lot of money off of it. And now we're having to pay money, and we're going to have to make some suggestions about what we do with recycling. But before we can even get to alley recycling, we have to pick up that trash. We cannot let our city become a dumping ground. And so we are going into back into the investigation of how they're doing and what they're doing. And we're going to subpoena routes. I'm having some conversations with some people who work in the trash refuse department, because I told the director a few weeks ago, I think it's a toxic environment over there. Some of the people that's been there for a very long time are quitting. And these are people who took pride in their work, and we have to pay them, but we also have to have a good work environment. So just wanted to let you know that next week we will be back at looking at how trash is picked up and what we can do to improve it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other announcements or committee discussions?
But I have a question. Alderwoman Tyus, I know we had spoke last week. I'm so crazy on weeks. I think it was last week about the recycle as to the trash, and we had looked at ways that we could still do recycle, but the focus would have to be trash. And so, is that something we're still looking at? Because I think the frustration now that I'm seeing, and I don't know about other people, but the frustration is the employees of Refuge. And so they just pretty much, they feel like the police, they just constantly getting beat up. And they're doing the best that they can, but they just don't have the tools that they need. So that's why I was asking, is the recycle, are we looking at recommending that as a change on how we would do the recycle? Because we do know that we're not profiting from recycle because people are not doing it correctly.
We are going to look at all things. I think Randy was very brave, Randy Brightenfield, to come and say this was a bad time to be doing recycling. I've been very honest to think that I know that the mayor's office listened to people who were calling in and texting and emailing about recycling, but sometimes you have to resist political pressure and tell people some hard facts, okay? When daddy loses his job, you can't go to Disneyland right now. And I don't say that recycling is Disneyland because I'm a hard, fast recycler. Before the city even had a recycler program, we used to pay $40 or $50 a year and they had a little blue bin. And I did that. And as I said, not only do I do it, I still rinse everything out. I take all the labels off. Everybody makes fun of me because I believe that we need to leave this world for the next generation. But saying all of that, if we can do this a different way, if we can have it at Forest Park, Penrose Park, Greg Carter Park, Gravelis down in Tower Grove Park, if we can have it at locations where we don't have to go through every alley, that'll be easier on us because we'll have to use less truck drivers. When we do recycling, we are using extra truck drivers and that we need to have picking up trash. I think we even are going to have to look at, do we want to outsource, at least for a while, bulk? Bulk doesn't require anything but a truck and a couple of people on it, okay? So maybe we look at something. We're going to have to think outside of the four lines or the circle or whatever, because we got it. The trash cannot pile up. We are not going to be one of those big cities. I'm not going to say any names, so I won't get some pushback. But some of the cities that I've been to, they had trash piled up on the street. And I've always been so proud that St. Louis didn't have that. And we don't want to get into that. And I don't think it was just this administration. I think that it's been previous administrations that didn't hire enough people. And then when people start saying they wanted recycle, I think that the office of the mayor tried to respond. But I think that at this point, we just cannot do alley to alley trash pickup. As a person who recycles, I would be glad to still go over to Penrose Park or Sherman Park and drop my recycling off, if that will help the city make sure they get the alleys cleaned up. And that, like I said, we're going to even have to look at, do we have to increase the pay? But we have to do something. This is something that has, and that's why we need all of us. It's not a one person. We all on this street committee. So we need to be writing down ideas that we think will work.
And then when we have people, and I think my thing is people are frustrated, and it's not to the point of the once a week, it's to the point when you miss a couple of weeks of picking up trash. And so residents are like, it's getting hot, we can't do this. And so, like I said, the drivers are getting frustrated because they're getting beat up. And Alderwoman Tyus did say, you know, some of them might pick up one dumpster and then they'll leave the other dumpsters filled. And so you're right, we have to think out of the box and we have to do better, because it's not okay with me. And like I said, I ride the ward, send pictures to the street director and say, we can't do this. So I feel for Randy because he's trying to address the issue and his hands are tied. So I hope we as a committee can make recommendations, and administration and the street department follow it so we can improve this whole trash situation.
Well, what I think we all know is that going to I don't think once a week is the answer. I mean, that is just not the answer. And she said she couldn't find the law, but I've been in my house for 30-something years. And I was there when they put the dumpsters there. And we have always had, like, we had Monday, Thursday, and other people had Tuesday, Friday.
Friday,
It's
right.
always, so in policies and procedures, we've done that. And they put the dumpsters in the alleys based on one dumpster per 4 households. So all of a sudden, if you only pick up once a week, those households are going to fill that dumpster up. And you're going to have trash every place. So that is just not the answer. So whatever we need to do, we need to spend some of this ARPA money or whatever. We have to, or the RAMS money, or do another budget where we add money. We cannot just go to any place in the city. Do I recommend going to once a week, except for the roll carts? Because there you got a big roll cart. And so my roll carts have been once a week, but the people who have dumpsters, that is not a good idea. And I don't care if there are 4 houses on an alley, that 4 house only have 1 dumpster. So if you don't pick that up for 2 weeks, that'll be overflowing. So we'll not make it better. We'll have dirty, filthy alleys, and we'll have pests, mice, rats, raccoons, squirrels, all of those kind of things. And then sometimes we have fined people who had stuff behind their houses and they didn't put it there. And we have made the mistake as a city of finding the people, and they have said very loudly, well, we didn't do this. So are we going to continue to fine people as all of this trash builds up? So I don't think that was the proper way to do it. And I think we can find a better way.
Thank you. I agree with everything that's been said, and I hope that we are able to, well, I'm not sure I agree with everything that's been said, but I agree with looking at it. I agree that we need to spend some time on this, and I think pay is part of it, and I think dumping is a big part of this as well. I have some areas in my neighborhoods here that, you know, people are filling up the dumpsters as soon as they're emptied, and it's, you know, maybe it's people who live in the neighborhood, maybe it's people who don't, but they still should be using commercial dumpsters. And so, you know, I think that is a huge problem as well with how quickly our dumpsters and bins get full. I think alley recycling is, you know, hugely important. I agree that it needs to be going somewhere, and it can't just be, you know, a play, you know, we're pretending to recycle kind of thing, but it's not getting done. I think knowing what the numbers are, I remember from before, I was hearing something about 30%, 35% was actually getting recycled. And, you know, part of that's putting the right stuff in the bin, of course, because if a bin gets contaminated, it'll be contaminated for everybody, and that'll all get thrown out. Flattening cardboard, that one's tough. Keeping
Yes.
things dry. I mean, cardboard in the bins, if it gets wet, it's not recyclable anymore. So it's like everything has to be dry. It's not just putting in dry cardboard.
Right.
So, you know, making sure things aren't in plastic bag. I mean, there's so much there. There's so many different pieces to work on. So, and I think I've already said this, but I'm gonna say it again. And I do think pay is a big piece of it. If it's, you know, even in other departments of the city, if it being a trash truck driver, a trash person who's picking up trash is, you know, and maybe there's a different job that might be more appealing, that's less dirty, you know, that might be something people want to do, or if there's not enough equipment, or if it's always breaking and it's just frustrating, people might want to go to a different department and do something different. And not that I don't want people to fill those seats, but, you know, I feel like we're kind of stealing city workers through different departments a lot of the time. So I think there's a lot to talk about. I really appreciate it. Does anybody else have any discussion items? Any announcements?
I want to say one thing. The trash is not, being a trash truck driver is not the same that it was years ago. We actually have nice cabs. You don't usually have to get out because you're not the bulk people. So mostly the truck drivers don't have to get out of the truck. You get to go home at night. So it's not like over the road driving. So it really is a good job. And sometimes I want to say that people tend to categorize what's important. I want people to have learned from this pandemic that every job is important, okay? And so when I tell people sometimes about our jobs, they'll say, well, I don't want to drive a trash truck. Well, why not? That's a good, honest living. We have to stop trying to make, you could only be a doctor or a lawyer or something, a teacher. All jobs are important. When you earn an honest living and you bring home and you support your family, that's important. And if we didn't learn this when we were looking for waitresses and waiters and people to stock our shelves, then shame on us. So there are very, and it's not the same thing. You do not usually have to get dirty. More people get dirty if they're doing bulk, but just driving those commercial trucks, that's a pretty good job. And do we need to add some more money? Yes, but it's it's a job to be proud of. You're helping keep our city running. And so I want to just encourage people to say, hey, if I have to go out there and be the person that's learning how to drive the truck, because you do have to have a commercial driver's license, I will do that and tell you that you do what you need to do that's legal and honest to earn a living.
Yeah. Okay, any other discussion or announcement items? Excused members, entertain a motion to excuse Alderwoman Peel.
No, she's here.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Awesome. I did not see you there, Alderman Peel. Okay, great. I just entertain a motion to excuse Alderman Bosley.
I so move. Second?
Anybody second?
No, I'll second that. I was just looking down the list to see if
I think that's it.
Brandon was here, but
And then any call for previous roll?
Previous roll.
Okay, having been moved by the Alderman from the 1st, seconded by the Alderman from the 23rd, call for previous roll, hearing no objections. Alderman Bosley has been excused. And with that, question, do I need to make a motion to adjourn, or can I just say we have?
You can do it, and one of us can do it, whichever way you want.
Okay, wonderful. Well, then with having that, I make a motion to adjourn this meeting of the Streets and Parks Committee.
Second,
previous roll.
all in favor, you have to vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Opposed.
great.
You gotta always do opposed.
Opposed? Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for this opportunity, Alderman.
And thank you so much, Alderwoman. And thank you. She did a great job. Let's give her a hand, because you have to learn how to run meetings. Thank you very much.